An incredibly visually striking piece that is just filled with scenes that make you wonder how they pulled it off. So many of the sequences in this piece match perfectly with the music and create a very sort of like a theater feel, a sort of an opera like feel, a very classical artistic performance feel that had a lot of themes that I felt like go deeper than what you see on screen. I thought just the progression of the piece, from the man moving through the staircases to him getting to the central performance aspect, and when you get to the setup towards the end of him in the shower, I felt like there was a very meditative and reflective component to all these pieces that allowed room for the audience to have an interpretation of what was going on, as well as there being sort of a strong, grounded emotional guidance, both from the music and both from the visual cues, that really creates a cohesive concept that really elevates both aspects of the piece. I really ended up enjoying the ending in particular with the broken or empty man that she's holding, which is also an image that you wonder how they pulled it off so well. And so much of this piece is well designed, well thought out, and clearly there's an attention to detail that comes across that ends up working well for a prospective audience.
It's melancholy but brilliant. I thought it worked really well in black and white, so stark and dramatic. The orchestral music with prominent cello and drum was suitably eerie. Great performance of grief by the lead man, very sad shots of him in the shower as his lover looks on. The lyrics were heart-wrenching, and I thought the levitation of his body was really clever. And the cinematography, particularly of him in the stairwell, was excellent, as was the glaring lighting for effect.
I loved the overhead view of the entire stairwell with his body at the bottom. That looked really cool. And then to reverse it, and you have the top of the staircase backlighting the woman standing over him, was really, really cool in that almost sepia tone, black and white combo, whatever color theme we were going with, that backlight looked really cool with it. And then the shot of him, rising up through this staircase looked so cool. And then I liked that it mirrored later on him rising in the shower. I think that's the first moment too we see the face kind of as this deflated thing as it like rebuilds, pushing away from the wall, and then it happens again with the kiss where his face is kind of melting into hers. It was like creepy, but in a good way. It was well done. That's what made it look creepy, because it was so realistic that like it's this sunken in face.
The orchestra here, they just do a wonderful job, and the composition is great. I love that it's a classical underpinning for sure, but on top of it, it's a very modern sensibility. It's kind of a pop rock classical song. The singer does a great job. The voice really blends in with the airy instruments so well that the voice is like just part of the music. So really enjoyed that. And the visuals, love the black and white cinematography. The editing was great, and the effects. The guy floating up through the staircase was just astounding. It was just beautiful. See the shoe falling. There was a lot that reminded me of Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. First when he collapses and we look down through the stairs at him, and then when he's raising up, and then we see the shoe falling down to us through the staircases. Again, very very Hitchcock, and it kind of gives the whole thing this feeling of intrigue, like there's some sort of espionage going on here. And what is this femme fatale who plays the cello doing to this guy? Breaking his heart, I'm sure. But yeah, this was a really cool piece. The performers did a great job on screen.
Haunting in a way. I'm am very impressed on how they managed to do some of the effects. Throughout the video, you see this person physically being lifted as if he's floating up and then down throughout this set. There's this one beautiful shot where he's floating, and the stairway is sort of like descending around him, and it looks as if both are moving in the same time. Very aesthetically beautiful, especially for it to all be the absence of color. I understood completely the concept of sort of floating through this space and time. the ups and downs that occur in life. I felt that it was beautifully represented in a visual manner. And I felt that the movements really reflected the song and music really well.
I especially loved the opening, how his face kind of hitting the door made me chuckle. I loved the black and white about this. I think that they manipulated the light fantastically to give this whole film some depth and texture with the black and white. The shoe drop was incredible. I really, really loved that. I thought the song was great too. I loved his voice. He's really exceptionally talented, and the string section in the song was stunning.